Thanks, Dr. Kate. Health conditions are just one of the many reasons people use mobility scooters, and they can be a vital part of living a happy and independent life.
But that is not always the case. We've been hearing from the Morning Live viewers who say simply using their scooters have made them a target of abuse.
I have been carved up on open roads. I had every legal right to be where I was. It makes me feel very vulnerable on the road.
It's estimated that there are around 500,000 mobility scooters in the UK. Morning Live has been hearing from some users who say they face regular abuse and fear for their safety.
You started giving me a lot of abuse, saying I should watch where I'm going, and if I can't ride these things, I shouldn't be able to use them.
In 2018, Andrea Hill from Oxfordshire was in an accident that left her housebound.
I was cycling back from a puppy training class, coming round a roundabout, and a taxi came along the road, didn't look, didn't give way, and T-boned us both. My right leg was trapped under the bike and got smashed up. It was a miracle I've still got a leg. After the accident, I was so depressed and down about being unable to go out anywhere without phoning somebody to pick me up. Ready, Luna? Jump on!
Andrea decided to invest in a mobility scooter to help her get out of the house.
I'm so used to being independent and thought, well, at least I have a bit of freedom. It enables me to generally do things that everybody else takes for granted, and it's just essential for me. It means so much for my mental health.
Andrea bought herself a Class 3 scooter, which is a road-legal vehicle. She can travel at speeds of up to 8 miles per hour on the road, but only up to 4 miles per hour on the pavement.
It has wing mirrors, it has indicators, it has lights. I'm registered with the DVLA, I have insurance, I even have breakdown covers.
But her newfound joy was short-lived.
I was quite nervous about getting back on the road after the accident. What I didn't expect was the behaviour of some drivers. I have been carved up on open roads. I had every legal right to be where I was. One driver wound down his window and shouted out, "Get out of the way." It makes me feel very vulnerable on the road and angry as well, because I just want to feel as safe as everybody else does. But I have to keep pushing myself to go out, because the alternative is to become a recluse and not to partake in society, not be independent.
Andrea has now fitted a camera to her scooter to try and improve her safety.
I've found that having a camera visibly on the mobility scooter did stop a lot of it, but some drivers are so oblivious, they just don't care.
Dean Brook from Nuneaton worked as a security guard before having both his legs amputated due to complications caused by type 2 diabetes. He drives a Class 2 mobility scooter, which means he can't drive on the road.
The other day I was coming back from town and the guy was parked actually on the pavement, and I only asked him nicely if he could move his car so I could get through, because I had no gap whatsoever, and he just started being very abusive towards me. He got in his car and tried to reverse his car back to hit my scooter from behind, and then when I got to the crossing, he come zooming around the corner and nearly hit me. He missed me by about 3 inches. The worst thing that gets me going is when people park on drop curbs. It means we can't cross the road where we want, and we have to find another drop curb that's free so we can cross the road. So we have to be very careful on that so that we don't get hit or injured.
Dean has even had people question whether he should be using the scooter.
I thought I got targeted because I looked normal, fit, healthy, and I was using that because I was being lazy, which I'm not. And that's why I used to lift up my trousers to show them my leg.
Hostility towards mobility scooter users is not unusual, according to Professor Duncan of Nottingham Trent University.
So we've run one of the largest studies on mobility scooter users across the country to date. One of the interesting findings from it was the accessibility issues, but the second largest one was around the negative stigma of using a mobility scooter. And what we found was that users reported being treated as second-class citizens, being treated as stupid or lazy. And of course, scooter users are vulnerable people, and so to be treated negatively by society is quite a significant issue. Unless you actually know anything about scooters, nobody has any idea about the different classes, what they can do, what they're meant to be doing.
There are two main types of mobility scooters, known as Class 2 and Class 3. A Class 2 scooter has a maximum speed of 4 miles per hour and can be used on pavements and in pedestrian areas. A Class 3 scooter has a maximum speed of 8 miles per hour. They can be driven on the road as long as they meet the safety requirements and the driver is registered with the DVLA. They can also be driven on pavements and in pedestrian areas.
So there's a lot there around the lack of understanding about scooters and why they need to do the things that they need to do, why they behave like they need to behave. So you create an environment where not everyone knows what everyone else is doing, and that can, of course, be a real problem.
Sharon Hilton works with Warwickshire Road Safety Partnership. Her best friend Dawn was a scooter user and safety campaigner before she died after getting cancer. Sharon continues to campaign in Dawn's memory.
She was up for promoting this campaign and for pushing for change for road safety, for mobility scooter users, but also to look at the person, accept somebody for who they are, not what you think, and don't judge. And so we threw ourselves wholeheartedly into the campaign with the support of her sons and her husband, who were determined that she wasn't going to die in vain. So part of Dawn's legacy is we'd like to see changes made to the highway code to recognise mobility scooters in their own right, but also to protect them.
Dean and Andrea have a message of their own for their fellow road users and pedestrians.
We don't use it because we're lazy or we can't be bothered to walk. We use it because we have to. So please, just have a bit of respect for people.
Cat 3 mobility scooters are road legal, and we have every right to be on the road as much as anybody else is. Drivers have to understand the road is not just theirs. There are so many different types of people using the road, and we all deserve to be there. The abuse has to stop.
100%. It has to stop. We need to be more patient. We need to be more considerate in that situation. And big thank you to Dean and Andrew for sharing their experiences with us, and hopefully people will take note.
And Dean saying we use them because we have to
exactly.
is a really telling phrase.
Exactly.